Hi everyone. You know that Chandigarh has Chandigarh has imposed the weekend curfew. So we are starting with classes from home. Things should not stop, and for that matter, I'll be taking the current affairs class today from my home itself. Okay, so before we go ahead, first of all, tell me if I am visible in a very small window. It's perfectly fine, and I'm audible. More important is, are you able to see the screen? All right, I am broadcasting a screen. Are you? Yes. Okay. Okay. Check. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So I hope everything goes good, and we'll have our regular class as we used to have from the institute, and we'll continue the class. We'll keep the class going on as it should be going on. So let's begin our first topic today. All right. The first topic that I'm going to take up is a long awaited topic. All right. And this question I'm asking, or this topic I'm taking up, because if you look at the UPSC mains, all right, if you look at the UPSC mains of 2018, in the UPSC asked a question, all right, the UPSC, it asked a question on Bose-Einstein condensate. Bose-Einstein condensate. Now, see, this topic, Bose-Einstein condensate, is not a trivial physics concept. It is not a trivial physics concept. Rather, it is a concept that is there in a deep physics, or you can say it is advanced topic. But even then, the UPSC has went for asking a question on Bose-Einstein condensate. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, inspired from such kind of trend in UPSC, I'll be taking up the topic of which things have been in news for quite some time. Like for example, there is a news that we are coming with something known as new physics. All right, we are coming with something known as new physics. That is, there is a concept in old physics that is known as standard model. This standard model, this is a model in physics that has been dictating the physics scientific research since 1970s. However, recently there have been two experiments conducted. All right, recently two experiments have been conducted, and these experiments have challenged the accepted model that was accepted in 1970s. Yes, Priyanka, it is. It is indeed. All right. So, like for example, in prelims examination, I don't remember the exact year now, but in one of the prelims exam, there was a question related to standard model, that with which of the following subject matter does this model, that is the standard model, deals with. All right. So they might ask you similar question even in future as well. So because of that particular reason, we are going to cover what is standard model. All right, what are the new challenges that are coming up, and trust me, if these experiments are holding true, then it will be a breakthrough discovery, or you can say a water change in the ongoing physics. I will bring everything down to very rudimentary level. I understand that none of us over here are the researchers in physics, but UPSC go for asking questions like this, so we'll have to take them up. There will be some prelims and related information as well, and the prelims related information will be explicitly told to you here, that which of the topic is preliminary related and important from prelims perspective. All right, so let's go ahead. So what is actually happening? There have been two experiments. All right, there have been two experiments that are recently conducted. The first experiment is the experiment that was conducted with Large Hadron Collider, LHC, Large Hadron Collider. Can you tell me where is this located? Anyone? Yes, Ayush, it is very much relevant for you also. Where is LHC located? LHC is located, yes, it is located at the border. अरे तमिलनाडु, आदित्य, इंडियन न्यूट्रिनो ऑब्जर्वेटरी और एलएचसी में अंतर है. ठीक है, चलो कोई बात नहीं. Good. Tanisha, no, it is not Australia. No, it is Sweden is wrong. The correct answer is it is located at the border of France and Switzerland. Border of France and Switzerland. It is a 27-kilometer long circular tube. All right, which is an underground facility. It is an underground facility which is located at the border of France and Switzerland. All right, they are located deep into earth. All right, and it is a circle with 27-kilometer circumference. All right, this path, it is 27 kilometer. All right, यहाँ पे एक experiment हुआ है. One of the experiment has been conducted at the Large Hadron Collider facility, and this Large Hadron Collider facility has given some data, and this data is very important from physics perspective. What is the data? We are coming to that, but before that, let me tell you the second experiment. So one experiment is being conducted at Large Hadron Collider. The second experiment is being conducted at Fermilab. Fermilab. This Fermilab is in the United States. All right, a very famous lab, very famous research laboratory, Fermilab. All right, over there, an experiment was conducted, and that experiment was muon G-2 experiment. Name of the experiment is important, and they can ask you which of the following lab is associated with this experiment. So muon G-2 experiment is the name of the experiment, and this experiment was conducted in the Fermi lab, which is located in the United States of America. Neha, we'll come to it. Large Hadron Collider के बारे में I'll give you that what is happening in the collider, all right, for a better understanding, so need not worry. So muon G2 experiment was the second experiment that was conducted in the United States, and these two experiments, they have challenged the standard model. Now, before we go ahead, let me explain you what is the standard model. All right. So, if you look at the standard model, so what has happened in physics? Earlier, people used to believe that atom is the elementary particle. That is, atom is the most fundamental part of matter. All right, people used to believe that atom is the most elementary particle or the most fundamental particle of the matter, but it was found out that even atom is made up of constituent parts. People found out it consists of protons, it consists of neutrons, and it consists of electrons, where protons and neutrons are found in nucleus, and the electrons go around the nucleus in the circular or in the orbits. All right. However, then people believed that proton, neutron, and electron, they are the elementary particles. They are the elementary particles. So see the change that is happening. See the change that is happening. Earlier, people used to believe atom is the elementary particle. Now, people start believing that proton, neutron, and electron are the elementary particle. However, a further research in physics revealed that protons are made up of further elementary particles, and they are quarks, they are gluons, etc. So, somewhere around 1970s, there were around 17 particles that were expected to exist. Some of them were discovered, some were discovered, and the remaining they were discovered later. So ये जो standard model है, all right, remaining were discovered later. Like for example, many of you know God's particle. Many of you know God's particle. What is God's particle? God's particle का दूसरा नाम है Higgs boson. Higgs boson is also known as God's particle, and it was discovered in 2012 from the data of Large Hadron Collider itself. This Higgs boson, it was one of the particles that was predicted by the Standard Model. All right, it is one of the particle that was discovered from the Large Hadron Collider. All right, चलिए. So what is Standard Model then? So Standard Model can be defined as a theory, a model based on the theories of 1970s. Theories of 1970s that deals with elementary particles, all right. Elementary particles are those particles of which every atom, every matter is made up of. So it consisted of discovered elementary particles as well as predicted elementary particles. All right, it consists of discovered elementary particles as well as it predicted that there should be some elementary particles. Clear? Plus, it also predicts what is the interaction that is taking place between these elementary particles. Like for example, if I tell you that quark is one of the elementary particle, all right, quark is one of the elementary particle, I am telling you. So how will quark react with another elementary particle, let's say electron? So these two are the elementary particles which are present in the Standard Model, and how they are going to interact. All this information is given in this theory called Standard Model. So this Standard Model is a theory of particle physics. It is a theory of particle physics. All right. If you have any doubt till this point, let me know. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear? All right, good. Okay. So the Standard Model is a theoretical model. हाँ आदित्य, अभी मैं आपको एलिमेंट्री पार्टिकल्स की लिस्ट बनवा दूंगा, डोंट वरी. ऑलराइट, डोंट वरी. अभी सिर्फ इतना समझिए कि जो स्टैंडर्ड मॉडल है, इट इज अ थ्योरी ऑफ एलिमेंट्री फिजिक्स और पार्टिकल फिजिक्स which was given in 1970s, and it was a theory about the elementary particles which were already discovered and the elementary particles which it predicted. कोई बात नहीं ध्रुव, 2-3 बार रिवाइज करो, ये हो जाएगा क्लियर, डोंट वरी. And it also talks about how these elementary particles are interacting. Clear? Okay. Now in this Standard Model there are 17 elementary particles. In this model there are 17 elementary particles. 17 elementary particles की बात करता है this Standard Model. Just to remember, it consists of 6 quarks. It consists of 6 quarks. It consists of 6 leptons, and it consists of 5 bosons. बस इतना याद रखिए. There are 6 quarks, 6 leptons, and 5 bosons. These are the elementary particles. These are the elementary particles. Again, this is prelims question. They might ask you which of the following is not an elementary particle. Elementary particles are those particles which cannot be broken further. Elementary particles are those particles which cannot be broken further. So quarks cannot be broken further. There are 6 quarks in your standard model. Leptons cannot be broken further. There are 6 leptons in your standard model. Bosons cannot be broken further. There are 5 bosons. Ria, it will become way too technical. Let's avoid it. Let's avoid it. Let's avoid the charge as of now. All right. Now you don't have to remember the 6 quarks, but in leptons you remember that electron, muon, and tauon. Electron, muon, and tauon. These are 3 leptons. ये important है. Remember this thing. Electron is considered as an elementary particle. Very important information. But proton and neutron, they are not elementary particles. This can be a statement based question that proton and neutron are not elementary particles, but electron is an elementary particle. True or false? It will become a true statement. Electron is a lepton. जो 6 type के leptons हैं, which are the elementary particles. Out of these, electron is one of them, muon is one of them, and tauon is one of them. Here, so statement-based question can come in UPSC. It's a UPSC level question that an electron is not an elementary particle. True or false? It's a false statement because electron is an elementary particle because electron is one of the 6 leptons. They might ask you that proton and neutron are elementary particle. Wrong, because proton is made up of some quarks. Same as neutrons. They are made up of quarks. Is this clear? But electron is an elementary particle and it lies in the list of leptons. ठीक है? ये जो स्टैंडर्ड मॉडल है ये 1970s की थ्योरी है. It talks about 17 elementary particles, 6 are quarks, 6 are leptons and 5 are bosons. जो latest boson discover हुआ था that was Higgs boson. The latest boson that was discovered was Higgs boson, and this Higgs boson was discovered in 2012. Higgs boson was discovered in 2012, and this is known as God's particle. This is known as God's particle. All right, this is all relevant to your UPSC. I'm not going into extensive detail. Looking at the UPSC paper, I'm sure that UPSC can ask this kind of questions. All right, so now there is this standard model. It was based on one assumption. All right, now why it is being challenged? So the standard model, बताइए standard model की एक थोड़ी बहुत picture clear हो गई. That standard model deals with 17 particles, 6 quarks, 6 leptons, and 5 bosons, and how they interact with each other. This is standard model. All right, it deals with particle physics. इतना ध्यान रखिए. Electron is one of the lepton. Electron is a elementary particle. Proton and neutrons are not. इससे ज़्यादा डिटेल में यूपीएससी नहीं जाएगी. They are not going to ask you protons or neutrons क्या हैं, whether they are baryons or mesons. No, they are not going to ask you. So what has happened? That this standard model. Oh, hold on. This standard model it was based on one assumption. It was based on one assumption. And what was the assumption? The assumption was that 3 leptons, जो मैंने आपको ऊपर बताए, 3 leptons, कौन कौन से? Electrons, muons, and tauons. All right. So this standard model is based on one assumption, and the assumption is that the three elementary particles that are the three leptons, ये सब न्यूज़पेपर में आया हुआ है. I'm not giving you anything from science books. It is there in the Hindu as well as Indian Express. So you cannot suspect कि ये detailed physics है जो किताबों में मिलती है. No, it is there in the newspaper, and the serious candidates are studying, so we have to cover it. So three leptons, it is based on one assumption that the three leptons, electrons, muons, and tauons, they have different sizes. They have different sizes, but their interaction is identical. Their interaction is identical. This is the assumption. The assumption is that the three leptons, electrons, muons, and tauons, they have different sizes, but their they have different sizes, but their interaction is almost identical. So what has recently happened in both LHC as in this LHC experiment, जो Large Hadron Collider है, Large Hadron Collider के experiment में it has been found out that the muon interaction was not similar to electron interaction जो उन्होंने expect किया था. In LHC, an experiment was conducted of muon interaction, an interaction of muon with its antimatter, anti-muon. छोड़ दो, muon से related एक interaction study कर रहे थे. Standard model कहता है कि muon, tauon and electron should interact similarly, but it was found out that muon interaction was not identical to electron interaction. So the assumption on which your standard model is based, it is challenged. And if you have challenged the assumption, so you have challenged the standard model. All right. Ayush, interaction means reaction. Like for example, when you put sodium in water, there is a chemical reaction. So where similarly, muon react with another muon was supposed to be same as electron reacting to other electron. But when this experiment was conducted, it was found out that muon and electron are not interacting in the same way as it was predicted by the standard model. And therefore, a challenge has been put on the standard model. This is what happened at Large Hadron Collider. All right. So Chehak says, what can be the impacts of failing of the standard model? Chehak, the failure of the standard model will start a new beginning in physics. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो अभी तक रिसर्च किया सारा खराब हो जाएगा. We will now take new things and also look at the previous data on these new developments and build new theories, test them. This is what science is. Am I right? This is what science is all about. So it is very interesting, and it's a landmark shift in physics. All right. So this happened at Large Hadron Collider. So after you have got the Large Hadron Collider experiment, I'll tell you a little bit about the muon G-2. Muon G-2 experiment. In this experiment, it was conducted in the United States of America, and the place was Fermi Lab. I will not go into the detail of this experiment, don't worry. I'll not tell you what is G factor and all these things. No, forget about it. So it was conducted in the United States of America. Yes, Kenneth, very much true. So in the United States of America, there was an experiment that was conducted by Fermilab, and this Fermilab conducted an experiment called mu G minus 2. Now, related to, so let me give you an example here. You know, something wobble when it shake. All right. What is the meaning of the word wobble? So suppose if there is a ball, the ball oscillate like this. You know, if it is happening like this, shaking vigorously, it is known as wobbling. So the standard model, it said that in presence of magnetic field, in presence of magnetic field, जो म्यून होता है म्यून, it experiences wobbling. In presence of magnetic field, this muon shakes vigorously, wobbles vigorously, and the wobbling is calculated by something known as G factor. So G factor calculate the wobbling of muon in presence of magnetic field, and therefore this G factor is a magnetic property. This G factor is a magnetic property of muon. So G factor is the magnetic property of muon. So if you go by the standard model, its value is approximately 2. All right. So muon in presence of magnetic field undergoes a lot of wobbling, and this wobbling is calculated as G factor. According to standard model, its value is 2. So the scientists at the Fermi Lab, what they did, they using very high precision instrument, they tried to look into how much this G factor deviates, and therefore this experiment is known as G minus 2. All right. So 2 is the value according to the standard model. 2 is the value according to the standard model. So what has happened, that the scientists at Fermi Lab wanted to see using high precision instrument that how much this G value deviates from original. So this deviation was significant than what was predicted by standard model. That means that the standard model is not correct about the characteristic properties of muon. All right. So what they discovered in the experiment, it was different from the standard model, and therefore back to back 2 experiments have been conducted, and both these experiments have challenged the standard model, and standard model is therefore is a hot topic in the current affairs of science and tech these days. So by the experiments conducted at Large Hadron Collider, by the experiments conducted at Fermi Lab, muon is the centerpiece in both of them, and it was found out that the predictions of standard model are false, and therefore standard model need to be looked up again to find what are the irregularities there in the standard model. Now, one thing is there, that anything to be conclusively. See Aditya, according to the standard model, uske mukable deviation was there, but I'm coming to it. For a deviation to be confirmed, for the deviation to be confirmed, you must have a standard deviation of 5 sigma. You must have a standard deviation of 5 sigma. All right. But in case of large hadron collider experiment, the standard deviation is 3.1 sigma. In case of Fermilab experiment, the standard deviation is 4.2 sigma, and both of them are less than 5 sigma. So it has been found out that the standard deviation is not significant enough to make it confirm that these theories are falsifying the standard model. But back to back, two experiments have confirmed deviation from standard model based on anomalous behavior of muon, based on anomalous behavior of muon. जो स्टैंडर्ड मॉडल म्यून के बारे में प्रिडिक्ट कर रहा था, that is not the property that is displayed by muon. That is not the property that is displayed by muon. And because of these reasons, these two experiments are challenging the standard model. Is this clear, everyone? Whatever we discussed so far, I tried to bring it down to a very normal level for every one of you to understand. Okay, fantastic, very good. Even if you have just got 60% of this concept, more than enough. So let me tell you what all information is important from examination point of view. Number one, standard model is a theory that was given in 1970s that talk about those elementary particles that have been discovered and predict some elementary particles that are supposed to be discovered. Total 17 elementary particles are there. 6 are quarks, 6 are leptons, 5 are boson. One of the particle, Higgs boson, was discovered very recently in 2012. Earlier, it was a belief that atom is the elementary particle, but with discovery of electron, proton, and neutron, it was believed that electron, proton, and neutron are elementary particle. But with discovery of bosons, muons, quarks, it was believed that neutron and proton are no longer elementary particle, but electron is an elementary particle, and electron is a lepton. This is all what is important from your civil services examination point of view. So two experiments were conducted, one at Large Hadron Collider, which is a 27-kilometer long tube, circular tube, located underground at France and Switzerland border. They carried out an experiment and where they tested the assumption of the standard model that electron interaction should be same as muon interaction, because standard model believed that the leptons have similar interaction. However, there was a deviation that was found from what was predicted in the standard model. Similar experiment was conducted, not similar, but another experiment based on standard model was conducted at Fermilab in the United States, and they calculated the G factor, variation in the G factor. G factor is the magnetic property of the lepton called muon, that in presence of the magnetic field, the muon wobbles, oscillates vigorously. The value of the G factor is 2 according to standard model. Using high precision equipments, the scientists calculated how much the G factor varies from 2, and that is why this experiment is named as muon G minus 2 experiment. And they found out that the deviation is much more than what was predicted by standard model. However, in both these experiments, you required 5 sigma standard deviation. You required a 5 sigma standard deviation for confirmation of the result. However, the standard deviation in both the experiments turned out to be 3.1 and 4.2 respectively, which is less than 5 sigma. And that is why it is not confirmed, but it is a strong evidence. It is not confirmed, but it is a strong evidence. Not confirmed, but it is a strong evidence. All right, guys. So that was about the muon G minus 2 experiment and everything. All right. Even if you have got the 60% of this, I think that you have passed the test. It's okay. Now, before going ahead, let me tell you a small point about a Large Hadron Collider, because being in news, it can be asked. When Large Hadron Collider was set up in 2008, in 2009 paper, Large Hadron Collider was there in the news. And this time, Large Hadron Collider is again very much in the news. So let us look into what is Large Hadron Collider. So Large Hadron Collider is like a circular loop. All right. You can say that it's like a circular tunnel. All right. In this tunnel, you provide electric field and you provide magnetic field. Electric field accelerate the particles, whereas magnetic field keep them in circular motion. All right. So what you are doing in this tunnel, you put up the charged particles, you put up the elementary particles, and you apply electric field upon them and magnetic field. The electric field give the speed to the charged particles such that charged particles move in this direction, and this magnetic field keep them in circular motion. So you constantly apply the electric field. Because of that reason, it keep on accelerating. And when these elementary particles, so sorry, यहाँ पे एक चीज ध्यान रखना, the things that are accelerated, they are not elementary particles, they are hadrons. Hadrons are particles which are made up of elementary particle. For example, proton. All right, these are larger particles. A proton is made up of 3 quarks. So quark is the elementary particle and proton is a hadron which is made up of quarks. So you can do one thing. You can keep 1 proton and 1 electron, and when you apply electric field to them, they will accelerate. Proton will go in one direction, electron will go in opposite direction. Yes, Shivanjali, that is why I say it is hadron. I did not use the word elementary particle. It is Large Hadron Collider. So you are accelerating one elementary particle, that is electron. You are accelerating another larger particle, that is hadron. It can be a proton. And when they become very high speed, when they attain a speed equivalent to the speed of light, all right, when these elementary particles attain speed close to the speed of light, they are made to collide. When they collide, they lead to creation of elementary particles. They are recorded and their interaction is noted. You know what is this LHC experiment? In a very simple terms, I am trying to make you understand what is this LHC experiment. This LHC experiment consists of 27-kilometer long circular tube in which you put 1 electron, either 1 muon, or you put 1 tauon. All right, muons. So what you are doing is you put particles in this tube and you apply electric field. It accelerates the particles. It gives them speed such that you want them to achieve the speed close to the speed of light, which is 3 lakh kilometer per second. Am I right? And when they achieve very high speeds, they are made to collide. Because of that collision, elementary particles are formed, they are noted, and their interaction is noted, and they are compared with the standard model. This Higgs boson, it was not discovered. कह सकते हो आदित्य, कह सकते हो. All right. This Higgs boson was not discovered until Large Hadron Collider was operating. So the Large Hadron Collider, it accelerates the particle because of electric field. Electric field provides speed to the particles inside this tube. These particles are called hadron, Hadron. Hadron are those nuclear particles which are made up of elementary particles. Now, you cannot see the elementary particles. That is quark, that is lepton. You cannot see them. So what you have to do is, you take a proton and then you make two protons go at very extreme speeds, and then you make them collide. When they collide, they break down into elementary particles. You note down what all particles you witnessed, and you note down how they interacted, and then you compare with the standard model. So the Higgs boson was a perfect fit in the standard model. However, the assumption that muon and electron, muon and tauon, electron and tauon, they are not identical. This assumption is now getting challenged. So now we will get new data and the standard model will be improvised. This is the entire picture of standard model, the LHC experiment, and the Fermilab G-2 experiment. Is this clear? Whenever a charged particle is put in electric field, it accelerates. It's a basic 10th class physics concept. When a charged particle is put in electric field, it accelerates. When a charged particle is put in magnetic field, it changes that direction. All right, guys, let's go ahead now. So that was enough for our discussion on the scientific discovery. Now we are going to change our course and we will discuss the Iran nuclear deal. So the second topic that we are going to take up is a bit lighter, not bit lighter, is very much lighter. And that topic is known as Iran nuclear deal. All right. Yeah, bilkul. All right. So let's look at Iran nuclear deal. So this Tuesday at the Austrian capital, that is Vienna. All right, Vienna. Vienna is the capital of Austria. The signatories of Iran nuclear deal. All right, the signatories of Iran nuclear deal. I am calling it as IND. Iran nuclear deal. They came together. All right, they came together to restore compliance to JCPOA. This is known as Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. So what has happened? That this particular week, the countries that were signatory to the Iran nuclear deal, they came up together at the Austrian capital of Vienna to restore compliance to what is known as JCPOA. JCPOA is known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. JCPOA is known as Joint Comprehensive Plan of action. This was signed for stricter control on Iran. All right, JCPOA was signed for strict control over Iran to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapon. All right. So joint comprehensive plan of action, it was developed for strict control over Iran to prevent Iran from developing the nuclear weapons. This is basically known as the Iran nuclear deal. So what are the various components of this Iran nuclear deal? So what was happening that on 14th July 2015, all right, on 14th July 2015, P5 plus 1 countries and Iran, they signed the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. They signed the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. What is this P5 plus 1? P5 plus 1 are the group of countries that included 5 permanent members of United Nations Security Council, 5 permanent members of United Nations Security Council. Guys, just give me a minute. All right, it is taking a lot. Give me a minute and I'll resolve this issue in a minute. Just hold on, hold on. Yeah, is it visible now? Is the screen visible? Okay, hold on. Just a minute, hold on. No, 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 no. Hold on. Just a minute. It must resume in a minute. Hold. Yes, chat. Hold on. I hope now it is visible. Visible? All right. I think that now it's going to be a bit better interface. Okay, okay, okay. So let us now continue. So JCPOA, it was signed. JCPOA, it was signed between the 5 permanent members of United Nations Security Council, and this plus one is Germany, and Germany was representing the European Union. All right, Germany was representing the European Union. So there were 6 parties, and one was Iran, and they came together and they agreed upon how Iran is going to conduct. Aditya, one is Germany representing European Union. हाँ, European Union कह सकते हो. All right, in your paper, if both Germany and European Union is there, you will write European Union. And if in your paper there is no European Union and is there only mention of Germany, then you can go for ticking Germany. All right. So why they are after Iran only when there are other nuclear countries like Pakistan? Okay, that's a very good question, Alice, and I hope that everyone should get this answer. Yes, yes, Aditya, that's right. Sir, newspapers mostly mentions Germany instead of you. इसीलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि Germany is representing the European Union. All right, Ankush. Okay. Now see, Alice asked a very good question that why they are running after Iran. Why Iran when India is also having its nuclear program, when Pakistan is having its nuclear program, then why not these countries? And why is it that only Iran is at the center back? Well, let me tell you a very explicit reason for that. Iran in 1968 signed what is known as the Non-Proliferation Treaty. ईरान ने नॉन प्रोलिफरेशन ट्रीटी साइन करी थी 1968 में एज अ नॉन न्यूक्लियर मेंबर स्टेट. एज अ नॉन न्यूक्लियर मेंबर स्टेट. All right, that means Iran agreed. Iran agreed. Yes, Tanisha, that's right. Iran agreed that it will never develop a nuclear program. Whereas if you look at India, if you look at Israel, if you look at Pakistan, if you look at North Korea, these are the countries that did not sign non-proliferation treaty. So they can develop their own nuclear weapon program, but the thing is this, all other countries are not going to help them. They can develop their indigenous program because they are not signatory to NPT. You know this non-proliferation treaty, it is a discriminatory treaty. It is a discriminatory treaty because this treaty came into effect. This treaty came into effect after India conducted its nuclear weapon, after India conducted its nuclear test. When India conducted its nuclear test, at that time this treaty came into effect. And this treaty said that only those countries that have developed the nuclear weapon before a particular date, they will be called as nuclear countries, and the other countries will be known as non-nuclear. So the nuclear countries, this date that was decided was so much anti-India that this date was decided to be before the nuclear test of India. So they deliberately wanted to keep India out of the nuclear group. That is why India is against the non-proliferation treaty and calls it as discriminatory treaty. India did not sign NPT, so India is neither nuclear nor non-nuclear country. India calls itself as nuclear. Other countries don't want to recognize India as nuclear. So they are pressurizing India to sign NPT. India says we are ready to sign NPT. But the thing is this, treat us as nuclear power, because right now there are only 5 permanent members of the Security Council who are recognized as the nuclear power. That is France, UK, USA, Russia, and China. Only these countries are the nuclear countries. Rest are non-nuclear. So if you look at the countries like India, Israel, Pakistan, North Korea, they did not sign the NPT. Check, they do not. This treaty does not benefit anybody. This treaty simply says that the non-nuclear member countries, those countries that sign the NPT as non-nuclear member states, they can never develop the nuclear weapon. Number one. And it says those are the nuclear countries, they must go for nuclear disarmament in near future. What is the near future? They did not define. If I am a greedy person, my near future will be 200 years, and if I am a altruistic philanthropic person, my near future can be tomorrow. Am I right? So non proliferation treaty says that the non nuclear member states will never develop. No. You Aditya, then let me tell you this. That was a civil nuclear deal. In 2005, India United States signed the civil nuclear deal, in which United States agreed to help India only in the civil nuclear program, not for military nuclear program. Here nuclear state means those who possess the nuclear weapon. All right. So the thing is this: the non-nuclear member, according to NPT, they will never develop the weapons of mass destruction, and the nuclear countries will go for disarmament. This, Riyadh, you are talking about the second test. The first test was conducted a lot before than the 1999 test. All right, I'm talking about the first one. NPT came into effect. I'm forgetting the year India tested its first nuclear weapon. Deepak, is it 1968? Yeah. All right. जो भी है, सुनो, मेरी बात सुनो एक मिनट. Hold on. According to NPT, the countries, let me just give me a minute and I'll confirm you. मेरे पास लिखा हुआ है notes में, एक second, hold on. Just a minute, hold on. So it was India conducted, all right, India conducted its first nuclear test on 18th May 1974. All right. And I'll tell you the date of NPT as well. All right. Yeah. So the treaty came into force in 1970. All right. And India. Yes. So in 1974, India conducted its first nuclear test. But India's nuclear program started before 1970s. India started its nuclear program before 1970s, but India conducted its first nuclear test in 1974. So India demanded that we should be considered as a nuclear country. Nuclear country means country possessing nuclear weapon. Countries possessing nuclear weapon, they are called as nuclear states. They are called as nuclear states under the Non-Proliferation Treaty, under the NPT. And those countries, all right, now exact date. All right, so those countries which did not have the nuclear weapon before 1970s, they are non-nuclear weapon countries. Non-nuclear weapon countries. So the countries who are signing NPT, but they did not develop their nuclear program before 1970, they are non-nuclear weapon states and they cannot develop the nuclear weapon according to NPT. So India said that we already developed our program. We were just about to test, and this treaty came into being to prevent India from developing its nuclear program. That is why India did not go for signing NPT. India says, हमसे NPT कल sign करवा लो. You get this NPT signed tomorrow, but treat India as a nuclear country. But NPT members are not agreeing to this. All right. Iran in 1968 signed NPT as a non-nuclear weapon country. So Iran, being a non-nuclear weapon country, cannot develop the nuclear program. But actually what has happened, Iran has gone for developing its nuclear program, and US and Israel, they are putting allegations on Iran that Iran is developing its nuclear weapons despite being a signatory to the NPT as a non-nuclear country. Is this clear? So to put a check, all right, to put a check on Iran's nuclear program, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action was agreed upon by P5+1 on one hand and Iran on another hand. Iran on another hand. Here, so basically what happened when US and Israel put allegations upon Iran that it is developing its nuclear weapon, United States, it imposed economic sanctions. It imposed economic sanctions upon Iran. It said that no other country should go for carrying out trade with Iran. And because of this reason, India could not go for, India could not go for procuring oil from Iran because of the United States sanctions that were imposed. So an agreement was achieved that if Iran is going to follow certain principles or certain practices, then sanctions will be uplifted from Iran. So what was contained in this Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action? So if Iran follows the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, then economic sanctions will not be imposed upon Iran. So what was there? So it was decided that, all right, it was decided that for next 13 years, from 2015 onwards, for next 13 years, all right, Iran will eliminate all high enriched uranium. Iran will eliminate all high enriched uranium. What does this mean? Let me tell you. In nuclear weapons, all right, in nuclear bombs, you can use uranium or you can use plutonium. All right, you go for making use of both these together. So this uranium, it naturally occurs as uranium-238, but uranium-238 cannot be used in the nuclear bombs. It must be first converted into uranium-235. This uranium-235 is known as enriched uranium. It is known as enriched uranium. If you look at the global resources, Bilkul Ankush, that's correct. Yes, Shivanjali, I am coming to this Natanz जो न्यूक्लियर इंसिडेंट हुआ अभी कल परसों, मैं उसके ऊपर अभी आ रहा हूँ. होल्ड ऑन. So uranium naturally occurs as uranium-238. So out of the total uranium that is found in the world, 99.7% uranium exists as uranium-238 and only 0.3% uranium is existing as uranium-235. All right, uranium-235. So you go for purifying uranium 238 into uranium 235. Uranium 235 is known as enriched uranium, and you enrich the uranium. All right, you enrich the uranium using equipment. And what is the name of that equipment? Using equipments called centrifuge. Using the equipments called centrifuge. All right. So what under this JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, Iran agreed that for next 13 years, Iran will eliminate all high enriched uranium. So what is enriched uranium? Uranium in U-235 form. Uranium in 235 form is known as enriched uranium. So if you look at the enriched uranium, if it is enriched till 5%, it is used for nuclear electricity. And if it is more than 20%, it is high enriched uranium. It is high enriched uranium. All right. This is weapon grade uranium. This is uranium for civil electricity generation. So if you look at the natural uranium, 99.7% is 238 and only 0.3% is 235. So you purify it, you enrich it to 5%. This uranium can be used in nuclear electricity. And if you enrich it beyond 20%, then it becomes high enriched uranium. All right, high enriched uranium, it becomes weapon grade. Chehek, today the sophisticated nuclear technology can enable even a 20% enriched uranium to be used in weapon. You do not need 90% any longer. I remember that newspaper mein 90% de rakha tha, but no, even 20% can be used for weapon grade, can be used as weapon grade. All right, and the process of enrichment takes place through devices known as centrifuge. All right, clear yahan tak sabko? Is it clear to everyone? All right. Now, so it was decided that for next 13 years from 2015, that is till 2028, Iran is not going to have any high enriched uranium. It will eliminate. Second, Iran will reduce its low enriched uranium by 98%. Iran will reduce its low enriched uranium by 98%, and Iran will also go for reducing advanced centrifuges. Reduce advanced centrifuge by 2/3. That is, excess यूरेनियम को वो बंद कर देगा निकालना. It will reduce the low enriched uranium by 98%. It will not go for further enrichment. जो advanced enriched centrifuge है, which can go for creation of weapon grade, uranium, those advanced centrifuge will be reduced by 2/3, and all high enriched uranium will be eliminated. This what Iran agreed. Then it was said that for next 15 years, Iran will enrich uranium only to 3.67%, which is less than 5%. This is only for civil electricity. All right. Iran for next 15 years will enrich uranium only to 3.67%, which is less than 5%, which falls in the category of civil electricity generation. Plus, Iran will not develop, Iran will have only one facility for centrifuge, for enriching. All other enrichment facilities will be closed, and Iran will only keep one facility for enrichment. Plus, it was decided that Iran will put all Iran, it will put all nuclear sites under IAEA supervision. All right, IAEA is International Atomic Energy Agency. IAEA stands for International Atomic Energy Agency. So Iran will put all its nuclear facilities under the international agency that take control of, under the international agency that take control of all the developments related to nuclear program. All right, so Iran was agreeing to whatever was demanded from it. In return, Iran wanted all the nuclear sanctions to be taken up. See, can you tell me where is the headquarters of IAEA? Where is the headquarters of IAEA? Vienna. The headquarters of IAEA is at Vienna in Austria. 172 member countries are there. It is an international nuclear watchdog. Sorry. All right. International Atomic Energy Agency. चलिए. Now, in 2018, what happened? That US and Israel, they blamed Iran, that Iran is not disclosing a secret nuclear program it had in the past secret nuclear program to IAEA. All right. So in 2018, United States and Israel, they blamed Iran that Iran is not disclosing a secret nuclear program it started in the past to IAEA. Iran said, I don't have this kind of nuclear program. In retaliation, the United States under Donald Trump withdrew. The United States withdrew from JCPOA or Iran nuclear deal and again imposed sanctions on Iran. All right, again imposed sanctions on Iran. Then in 2020, on 5th of January 2020, Iran's general was killed in Baghdad airport airstrike. So Iran decided in retaliation that it will no longer work under JCPOA, but it will abide by and cooperate with IAEA. All right. So IAEA was signed in 2015. Then what happened? In 2018, the United States withdrew because US and Israel, they blamed Iran of hiding a secret nuclear program. Then what happened? In 2020, 5th of January, Iran's general was killed in Baghdad airport airstrike. So Iran decided that it is not going to be regulated under JCPOA any time, and it withdrew from JCPOA Iran. All right, and Iran will start with its nuclear program. However, in December 2020, with Joe Biden being the president of the United States, Iranian officials agreed. Iranian officials, they agreed to again come under JCPOA only if USA joins JCPOA and USA lifts all economic sanctions. All right. So on 5th of January 2020, Iran's general was killed and Iran decided to withdrew itself from Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. However, in December 2020, with change of president in the United States, the Iranian officials agreed to join back Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, and they said that they will again agree to follow all that is there in Iran nuclear deal if the United States of America joins the Iran nuclear deal again, and USA uplift all economic sanctions on Iran. For this, a meeting was conducted in Vienna this month, in fact, this week itself. Let's see what's going to be the outcome, whether United States joins Iran nuclear deal or not. However, even before anything could be conclusively carried out, Iran's underground nuclear facility at a place known as Natanz was attacked by a cyber attack, and this cyber attack, according to Israeli media, was sponsored by Israel. So there is a nuclear facility आदित्य एक पाल्मर स्टोन करके एक फिलोसोफर होता था, उसने बोला था देयर इज नथिंग परमानेंट इन इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस, neither the friendship nor the enemy. There are only permanent interests that are permanent there. So it is interest that is there in international relations. इसीलिए pragmatism से बात नहीं चलती. All right. So Iran nuclear facility at Natanz was attacked by a cyber attack this week, and Iran says that it was sponsored by Israel. Even Israeli media has agreed that this cyber attack on Natanz, where many centrifuges were destroyed. Many centrifuges were destroyed. All right. So that is the attack. Coming to it, hold on, Chahat. So Iran, in retaliation to this cyber attack of Israel, said that they are going to enrich 60% uranium. They are going to enrich 60% uranium, and this is enough for the weapons to be created. Now, why does Israel want the JCPOA or Iran nuclear deal to fail? Israel is of apprehension that even if in Iran there is civil nuclear energy being developed, in Iran, even if civil nuclear energy is being developed, it is possible that Iran may in near future may go for development of weapon, and therefore they do not want any kind of nuclear installation to be functional in Iran. Israel do not want any kind of nuclear installation to be functional in Iran. That is why Israel want the joint comprehensive plan of action to fail. And yes, they want Iran to suffer both economically, strategically, and on all counts. No, Chehak, they believe that after 15 years, when JCPOA will be, when those terms will be over, Iran will always go for development of nuclear program. That's it. They are having a fear that they will always go for development of nuclear program. Yes, it's a new nuclear race that has begun in the Middle East. That's correct, Aditya. A new nuclear race has begun in the Middle East. All right, so that was the Iran nuclear deal. Is it clear to everyone? Yes, failure of see Dhruv, failure of JCPOA will benefit Israel. Iran will be suffering from economic sanctions. Number one. Then countries, Iran will go for development of nuclear program. Countries are going to attack or put restrictions upon Iran. That's the virus. Shivanji, that's the virus. Cyber attack virus. Chaliye, let's go ahead now. So recently, there was another news. Let me see and I'll tell you. There was another news that India is about to receive the S-400 air defense system. India is all set to receive the S-400 air defense system. This S-400 is also known as S-400 Triumph, and it is an advanced air defense system that India procured from Russia. All right. S-400 is advanced air defense system that India has procured from Russia. This S-400 was once a bone of contention between India and the United States. Why? Because US went for CAATSA Act. CAATSA is combating or countering American adversaries through Sanctions Act. So CAATSA stands for combating or countering American adversaries through Sanctions Act. So it was decided that any country that deal with North Korea, Iran, or Russia, these countries are the adversaries of the United States. Any country that deal with North Korea, Iran, and Russia, they are going to face economic sanctions. This is known as CAATSA Act. So when this act was passed, at that time, India was purchasing S-400 from Russia, and India had to go for seeking a waiver from the US to procure CAATSA, and this waiver was given to India for the national security purpose. It was given to India for the national security purpose. There was another problem that was created by US. US wanted the US wanted that instead of S-400, India should go for purchasing THAAD from US. THAAD stands for Terminally High Altitude Air Defense. This third question has come in 2016 prelims or 2017. I don't remember the year, but THAAD was there in one of the questions in one of the prelims, and it was related to the same S-400 Triumph news. So India was purchasing advanced air defense system. Yes, yes, Alice, India got the waiver to buy CATSA waiver to buy S-400. So S-400, India was purchasing from Russia, and the United States wanted to twist India's hand and wanted India to go for purchasing THAAD from USA rather than S-400. But India managed somehow to avert the American pressure and went with the S-400. In fact, this S-400 is much advanced than THAAD because in 2017, The Economist has ranked S-400 as one of the best air defense system. It is truly very advanced. Then in 2018-19, Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, it has also said that S-400 is the most advanced air defense available. So S-400 is going to improve India's air defense by a large margin. All right, it is going to improve India's air defense by a very large margin. Now, if we talk about India's air defense system, India's air defense system. So this India's air defense system is having one ballistic missile defense system, and this will be supplemented by S-400. This will make India's air defense system extremely robust. देखो ध्रुव, डॉक्टर सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी जो है ना, ही इज अ कॉन्स्पिरेसी थ्योरिस्ट. वो घर बैठे बैठे ऐसी ऐसी कॉन्स्पिरेसीज बनाते हैं, उनका कोई वो नहीं है. उनके हिसाब से तो एवरीथिंग कैन बी हैक्ड बाय चाइना. ठीक है. सो कुछ भी अगर अमेरिकन प्रोडक्ट खरीदा तो क्या चाइना हैक नहीं कर सकता, या चाइना हैक नहीं करेगा? गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? So he is just a conspiracy theorist. I really do not have much of a personal aspiration and admiration for Dr. Subramaniam Swamy. और मुझे पता है कि मेरी उनके प्रति जो व्यूज हैं उनसे उनको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, और मुझे भी इस चीज से कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ठीक है. सो सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी साहब को जो लगता है लगता रहे, बट S-400 हैज बीन गिवन अ वेरी बिग रेपुटेशन by the global security strategist that it is going to really benefit India's defense system by a huge margin. All right. So this S-400 is going to supplement the ballistic missile defense program of India. If you talk about the ballistic missile defense program of India, this India's ballistic missile defense system, it is two-tier system. It is a two-tier system. So we have one thing known as Prithvi Air Defense. This is high altitude exo-atmosphere ballistic missile defense system. If a ballistic missile Yes, Dhruv. If a ballistic missile come towards India, then that ballistic missile will be intercepted in between in the exo-atmosphere, outer atmosphere by the Prithvi missile, and that is known as the Prithvi air defense. This is the first tier of India's ballistic missile defense system. Then if you talk about the second tier, if you talk about the second tier is AAD, that stands for Advanced Air Defense. AAD stands for Advanced Air Defense. It includes Akash air missiles, and they are endo-atmospheric. They are endo-atmospheric. They go and attack the ballistic missile in lower atmosphere. So India is having a two-tier ballistic missile defense system. The first tier is PAD, that is Prithvi Air Defense. The second tier is AAD, that is Advanced Air Defense. Clear? All right. So if the ballistic missile is to be intercepted at atmosphere, higher atmosphere, upper atmosphere, then you will make use of Prithvi Air Defense. And if the missile somehow manages to escape the Prithvi Air Defense, then the Advanced Air Defense will tackle it in the endo atmosphere or lower atmosphere. India is the only fourth country in the world after US, after Russia, and after Israel to have a ballistic missile defense system. India is the only fourth country in the world after US, Russia, and Israel to have its own ballistic missile defense system. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear? The air defense system of India. All right, good. Okay. And the topic that we are going to discuss next is known as National Pension Scheme. So we looked into today, so far we have looked into what is standard model, what is the LHC experiment, what is muon G minus 2, US, Russia, Israel, and India. Then we looked into Iran nuclear deal, centrifuge, enriched uranium, weapon grade uranium, civil grade uranium, and we have looked into S-400, and we have looked into India's ballistic missile defense system. It is developing, Yogita. It's still not developed that much. It is still developing. All right. The next topic we are discussing is known as National Pension Scheme. National Pension Scheme. You know that before 2004, all government employees were given pension by the government on their retirement. However, this was replaced on 1st January 2004, 1st January 2004 by the National Pension Scheme. The National Pension Scheme was started in 2004 on 1st January 2004. It does not include the armed forces. It doesn't include the armed forces. It is a very important point to remember. All right. Now, so it was initially started only for the government employees in 2004, excluding the armed forces, excluding the armed forces. But in 2009, it was extended to all citizens of India, including residents and non-residents. In 2009, it was extended to all citizens of India, including the residents or non-residents, and these must be between 18 to 65 years of age. Between 18 to 65 years of age, they can join the National Pension Scheme. They can join the National Pension Scheme. However, in 2019, it was extended even to overseas Indian citizens plus people of Indian origin. ध्रुव, हमारे देश की स्कीम का फायदा किसी दूसरे देश के नागरिक को क्यों देना? Am I right? So in 2019, the government extended the National Pension Scheme to overseas citizens of India, OCI, and PIO card holders. All right. Now, this National Pension Scheme, it is administered by Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. It is people of Indian origin. Aditya, people of Indian origin. All right. So it is Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. Regulatory and Development Authority. This PFRDA that administers the National Pension Scheme also administer all other pension funds that are there in India. All pension funds today are administered by the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. This is a statutory body. Shivanjali, it's a statutory body that was created by an Act of Parliament in 2013. It is not as such under anybody. It is a statutory body that was created in 2013 to administer all the pension funds in India. Now, the National Pension Scheme, it is a tax exempt, or you can say it is a tax free instrument. That is, there will be no tax on the corpus of money that you are going to get after maturity. All right. So the National Pension Scheme is a tax-free instrument. It is a tax-free instrument where no tax is imposed upon the corpus of the money after that you are going to get after maturity. Apart from this, any contribution to this National Pension Scheme is non-taxable, or you can say it is tax exempt under section 80C, 80CCC and 80CCD. You don't have to remember the sections of Income Tax Act 1961. So the National Pension Scheme, whatever money you are going to get at the time of maturity, yes, additional 50,000, correct. All right. At the time of maturity, whatever amount was you are supposed to get, there will be no taxation on that amount. And secondly, you can fetch exemption from income tax under section 80C, 80CCC and 80CCD. In fact, the various agencies have ranked they have ranked the National Pension Scheme to be the second best saving scheme after equity linked saving scheme. After the equity linked saving scheme. All right. Now, earlier, why was this particular national pension scheme was in news? So in the national pension scheme, there was an annuity clause. ANNUITY. Annuity clause was there. What was this annuity clause was saying? That after your retirement, you can withdraw 60% of your money from national pension scheme. After retirement, you can withdraw 60% of your money from national pension scheme, and the remaining 40% was to be transferred to annuity. Annuity means you will be getting periodic disbursement from the government. Matlab, suppose you are having 1 lakh rupee as the saving in national pension scheme. So when you retire, you can take out 60,000 rupees without any tax, and the remaining 40,000 will not be taken out directly, but they will be given to you on monthly, half yearly, quarterly basis. Whatever be the time period you choose. So it was a kind of pension. So 60% you get, 40% is given to you in the form of annuity, ANNUITY. Annuity is the amount that is to be given as regular disbursement at or from some time in future. All right, at some time in future. This annuity clause, no, it is not taxable. 40% is also not taxable. It is complete tax free. All right. Now, this annuity clause has been withdrawn. This annuity clause that was there in NPS has been eliminated. There is no annuity clause now. Now you can take out 100% of your saving under the national pension scheme without paying any tax on it. All right. So all accounts having savings up to 5 lakh, all accounts having savings up to 5 lakh can withdraw 100% on retirement. Can withdraw 100% on retirement. All right. This is the national pension scheme. It is there is no option. I think that now there is no option of annuity, or I don't know whether it is partially available. I'll have to cross check once again. All right, and so in the newspaper it was given as that annuity clause has been withdrawn. So it has left to be voluntarily with the person whether he want to take the money at one go or whether he would like to go for the monthly installments. But you know that people will go for taking this saving in one go. So I think that annuity clause has been completely dissolved now. All right. So the national pension scheme started in 2004, extended to all Indians in 2009, OCI card holders and PIO card holders in 2019, is regulated by PFRDA, which is a statutory body under the PFRDA Act. All right. Yes, Alice, it could be possible. That's right, Aditya, correct. All right. So now, instead of just 60% being withdrawable, Now you can withdraw all 100% of your saving. All right. Any questions so far? No, 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 no. General Provident Fund is different. Personal Provident Fund is different. Yes, Akash. Ministers do get pensions. Ministers do get pensions. MLA MP pension को pension मिलती है. So they do get pensions. All right. This is extended only to the government employees. A very important catch is government employees. All right. Uh, so today, I think that these 4 topics I wanted to cover. So any doubt from the first topic, that is the standard model, the muon G-2 experiment, or the LHC, what experiment is being conducted? No, Shashank. No. All right. Then apart from this, Iran nuclear deal. All right. What is the recent equation between Israel and Iran? See, the thing is this: Iran and Israel, they are arch rival in the Middle East with each other. Neither Iran would appreciate Israel to develop, neither Israel would appreciate Iran to develop. All right. Himani in Large Hadron Collider. Yes, that's right. They see, except for armed forces, Richa, except for armed forces, hold on, except for armed forces, all the government employees, they have got their pension stopped and they are now opting for national pension scheme. Himani in Large Hadron Collider. See, it is LHC. H stands for hadron. So hadrons are those particles that are made up of elementary particles. Hadrons are those particles that are made up of elementary particles. So in Large Hadron Collider, you put hadron, you accelerate them to the speed equivalent to the speed of light and you make them collide. In that collision, the nuclear forces are broken and subatomic elementary particles are formed. They are observed and their data is recorded. Yes, Chehak, right. Redmi, that I'll have to look into. All right. ये कोई बैंकर ही बता सकता है सारे पीएफ के बीच में differences. I'm not, or you can Google up. All right, I have some limitations. All right, sir, in Iran nuclear deal now, when Iran is doing its own, isn't countries pose any sanctions? Yes, Shivanjali, Iran right now is experiencing sanctions being imposed by the United States since 2018. It is because of the United States sanctions that we are not engaging in the full spirit with Iran. We are not engaging in full spirit with Iran because of the United States sanctions. Had there been no sanctions, we would have gone for development of Chabahar port. We would have gone for building the rail line, and Iran would have been a very close ally of India. But it is not so because of the sanctions that have been imposed on us by United States. Rama, it will be. It was to be given in Telegram group. So last class PDF that was supposed to be given was to be given on the Telegram group and not the WhatsApp group. I was informed later that it is the Telegram group where the PDF is to be given. I hope you must have got the PDF in the Telegram group. Tanisha, there is no difference between Iran nuclear deal and JCPOA. Joint comprehensive plan of action agreement was signed as Iran nuclear deal. Iran nuclear deal का दूसरा नाम है JCPOA. All right. Yes, Ankush, this session will be available on YouTube as a recorded session. Samir, 15th of May, will be beginning the sociology optional. So 9- maps were not provided on the Telegram channel. It will be uploaded. Don't worry. Yes, Himani, I said proton. Proton is a hadron and it is made up of elementary particle. It is not elementary particle. In that tube, except for lepton, no other elementary particle are put. Except for leptons, no other elementary particles are put. You can simply say, if the question comes which elementary particle is put in the Large Hadron Collider, they will give you an option called hadron. Hadrons. Click hadrons. That's it. All right. Above 5 lakh saving Ashimal, let me have a look at it. Yes, Aditya. Yes, above 5 lakh, I think that annuity clause is there. I'll confirm you this thing in the next class. All right. I think that above 5 lakh annuity clause is still there. Yes. So Shreyans, after Israel attacked Iran, now a situation has come up that Iran, on one hand, is trying to obey JCPOA, but Israel is instigating it to come out of JCPOA and carry on with the sanctions upon Iran. So Israel is instigating Iran right now. Yes, Yogita. Yes, Nigam, 15th May. Sir, all government employees get pension under national. Yes. Yes, Kenneth. सर यूएसए का अब क्या स्टैंड है ईरान न्यूक्लियर डील पे इट विल बी क्लियर इन अ वन लाइक in couple of weeks it will be quite clear. Dhruv, see, under UNCLOS the country cannot restrict any kind of passage in exclusive economic zone. When the United States carried out the exercise in India's exclusive economic zone on moral grounds, India should have been informed and a permission should be taken. All right, otherwise it's nothing we can do. All right, under all right. Okay, everyone. So today, because of the weekend lockdown, we have to take this class from home itself. So, sir, as per newspaper, you will include Ankush. You will include territorial waters have all the characteristic features of EEZ already included. You will include. That's right, Aditya. All right. So that's all for today's class. That's the 4 or 5 topics that we wanted to discuss. If you did not get anything, the recorded session is already will be there on YouTube, so there will not be any problem. Yes, Samir, it will be different from the regular class timing. The optional classes will be from 2 to 4, I guess. Second, domestic laws of India counter laws of UNCLOS. No, UNCLOS is global body and India acknowledges UNCLOS. So India is not going to challenge UNCLOS. All right. Thank you, Chad. All right, everyone. Or do we need to read newspaper? See, reading the newspaper is there is no alternative to reading the newspaper. I have this belief that reading the newspaper has no alternative. Nobody whosoever says don't read the newspaper and read anything. This is my belief. And I'm not going to change it. Because the people who crack this exam, they are the one who are very, very well versed in reading the newspaper. I am not going to change this statement under any circumstance. You may find alternative to newspaper. You can do that. And you can clear that exam with alternatives to newspaper. But for me, newspaper has no secondary alternative. Yes, all other things can supplement what you read in the newspaper. But then these are my opinion and I don't want to impose them upon you. I'm telling you this thing that my close friends who are in bureaucracy, they were the people who were very good at reading the newspaper. And I did not used to read the newspaper. That's why I'm reading the newspaper now. All right. So I hope it makes the point clear. All right. Rishabh, Yojana and all those things, their summary can be read up. Or I don't go for reading extensively. Yogita, no, as such, not required. If you want to have a preliminary preparation before the optional begins, yes, you can read the NCRT. Chaliye. All right, so that okay, so that's all from this session. Hopefully, if next week there will not be any weekend curfew, we'll have our regular classes where Piyush sir will also join us, or else we'll be meeting this way. All right, thank you very much. You all were fantastic audience. Have a great day ahead. Take care. Bye. Be safe. Corona has not gone. In fact, the second wave is even more disastrous. You be protected. If you are protected, you will protect the others. All right, nothing more we can do. Have a great day ahead. Take care. Bye. All right, signing off. Bye bye.